Hello all, more of my A to Z embroidery of stitches. Last time was this looped one. Today is this scallops, and what they did is they cut away the excess fabric on the edge of the scallops because it's an actual edge. And so my scallops go right here, but what I think I'm going to do is make my scallops on here and then sew this on. So I already have a flap down here. What is one more flap? I'm going to sew this flap on right here for my scallops because I want to cut away the edge. I want to try that. I'm sure it'd be very pretty that way as well. Christine did it just flat on her fabric, which would be very nice, but I would like to try it with the cutaway. So I'm going to start right here on this edge, probably a little bit closer if possible. I'm not going to be a fuddy-duddy and pretend like I don't need to put on some readers to do this. So, and I'm going to try this without a hoop. So come up at down at, take the needle from, okay, so I go up at A again, up to B. So this first part is going to be very difficult because I'm right on the very, very, very edge of it. So I shouldn't have pulled that all the way out. But let's pretend like my thread was where it was supposed to be, and this would have come through like this. And without catching the edge of my fabric, it would be like that. Continue stitching this matter. Ensure that only one stitch sits at the very peak of the scallop. That'll be over here when I get there. So, and what else does it say? Make sure they remain at right angles. I guess you just put them as close together as possible because it is a filling stitch. So right angles and close together. I think that's right. Let's do a couple more. At least with it not in any kind of frame or hoop, I can one motion it, which is nice. Oh, very nice. Look at that. So the hardest part for me is going to be first I need to get back on that red line. Stay on lines, I guess, because I put the water soluble on here because again I'm liking that better. Oops, I forgot to go through. Goodness. I like that better than, I'd rather wash my item than try to iron off the lines. I'm finding that the lines don't iron off as well as I would like them to. And I heard that they could come back, which doesn't thrill me either. So there it is. I have a little ways to go. I'll be back. I didn't pay attention to the way it was drawn very well. So my inner circle doesn't come to the right place. So I redrew my inner circle. My scallops are going to be wonky, I guess. Oh, how can many videos can I say this? Live and learn about how to do this, because that was not right. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to soldier on, as they say, and keep going. I am also only going to do this thread to here, and then I'm going to switch to one of these, I don't know what color yet, but one of these wools for the second one to see how that looks. Mistakes, the better part of life. It's how we learn. Okay. I had a massive tangle in my thread that I cut out, and I'm really unhappy with this, with how I drew it, and in general, just not working the way I think it should. So I'm switching to this, and I'm going to start right here in the middle, and I don't want to start in the middle though. I want to start on the edge. I'm going to start on the edge right here. And I'm going to try again. I watch Sarah Humphrey's embroidery channel on YouTube, and she says it is important to make samplers so that you can try things out before you do them. So we're going to call this a sampler, and we're going to toss it later because it did not work for me at all, which is okay. 100% okay. So starting again with a more dimensional yarn. And I'm also going to try to be more straight up and down. I felt like I was going at an angle last time. So this is about my 20th restart, and I realized that I was doing it completely wrong, which is part of my problem. My knots are on the top and they should be at the bottom because I misread the diagram. So I'm going to try again. I just couldn't figure out why it was not working for me. It took a minute. It may still not work for me. Who knows? But, oh, stay out of the way. But we'll give it a go. Oh, it looks better already. Although I'm not convinced that I'm doing it right. I'm not sure how you're supposed to do the pointy part. And they didn't start on the pointy part. They started in the middle, and yeah, we're just going to go with it. Well, I know why. It's still drawn wrong. Okay, I'll try again. Okay, let's try again. I can't draw this. My brain, for whatever reason, will not let me draw this. So thank you, Google, for the help. I'm going to try one more time. Come out a day. my desk is increasingly becoming a train wreck as I try this project. This obviously is the hardest stitch I've done so far in this. And then you go from B back to A. This is where I messed up the first time. First couple of times. Oops! I went the wrong way. This is like a forever project. Between my husband being home today, which he's usually not, he's usually at work, and my frustration with this of not being able to figure it out, and the fact that I have somewhere to be in a little while, and my work phone ringing, maybe I'll finish this video today. Maybe I won't. Maybe this will be a tomorrow project, the rate I'm going. It's making more sense now, so that in itself is an improvement. Oh my gosh, and there's my other phone. As I was saying, this could very well be a forever project, or maybe I just scrap it and start over completely once I've figured out this stitch. Wouldn't that be hilarious? And I could be like, oh look, I did it on the first try. I'm not like that. I wouldn't do that. It's already showing great improvement over what it did before though. So that's good. I may try it again with the floss now, or maybe a, whatever they call that, a perler cotton. Now that I kind of have an understanding of what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's actually, look, success, it's working for me, which is remarkable because this video is already 12 minutes long, and that's not counting all the stops. It looks much more like what they had. So I am going to go at least this first scallop, and then maybe I will step down a size on my yarn and try again, and then maybe for the third scallop I'll step down again and try again, but I will come back when I get to this point right here. Okay, yay, I completed a section. I have this pearl cotton I got at a thrift for 49 cents, and I'm going to use that for this next section. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully as well as the last section went. Nope, not off to a good start. I'm always wanting to thread my needles without the needle threader, and it just never seems to work out for me. I think it's a me thing. I need more practice or something. I don't know. Okay. So, try me a little knot. Put on some readers so I can see. I'm still in the vertical world of embroidery because I can't seem to get, they show it being worked horizontally, and that does not seem to want to work for me. So let's see how this is going to go. Part of my, I started going at a slant. That was part of my problem. It was hard to go straight up and down, and maybe if I were horizontal it wouldn't be so hard. I don't know. With the knots on the bottom, you almost have to go under the last knot to be straight with the stitch ouch, on the top. My poor desk. My goodness. Okay, that will look nice. Let's do one more, and then I will go away and finish this scallop, and then come back and we'll try again with the DMC floss and see if I can accomplish something there. My problem with this one was literally doing it upside down, not looking at the picture closely enough, and confusing the thread coming out of the needle with the thread going behind the needle. That's my bad. Not being able to read directions, I guess. So that looks good. I'm happy. I'm going to keep going. Okay, I am back. I took a nice long break. I took my classic car to a car show about 40 miles away and visited with some friends. It was delightful. I have finished with the wool, and I have finished with the pearl cotton, and I am going to attempt again with the embroidery floss 3 strands, because now that I know what I'm doing and I'm tying my knots in the right place, I would like to see what it looks like that way. It's not nearly as difficult now as it was earlier today, ironically. A lot having to do with just printing out the pattern because I couldn't figure out how to draw it, which, whatever, I don't know. Probably still couldn't draw it, even though I can see it on the paper. I can't draw it. So, I apologize again for my really messy desk. It pretty well reflects the feel of this stitch to me right now. Just an absolute train wreck. But again, one of the things that I plan on doing is cutting this out like it shows in the book, because I'd like to see what that looks like, and then sewing that scallop on to the section of this, which is buried in junk right now, where it belongs. One of the struggles that I'm having is remaining straight up and down with this stitch. Little threads. But that's okay. I'm going to continue to remind myself that I am a beginner. I am only, this is like stitch 15 or something, or 16. I'm only like 16 stitches in. So I have quite a ways to go on learning to embroidery. And I have quite a ways to go on aspects of embroidery. Not just the stitches, but the feel of the needle, the feel of the thread, the feel of the fabric, all of that is I think something that as I do more, it will just become more, I don't know what the word is, comfortable. It's not really the word. It's not that I'm uncomfortable. More, what? I don't know. I'll come back to you if I come up with a word for that. Consistent, definitely, for sure. You know, getting your fingers into the muscle memory of the actions and the movements of it all. Also, just even the strength. You don't realize how tired your hand can be holding on to the fabric, or holding on to the needle. It's not something that you do in natural life, and so unless you stitch a lot, it's a new sensation and something that you kind of have to get used to, which is okay. That's part of it, I guess. But I feel that go away. As I do more, that will just become part of it. It'll be less thinking about where my fingers are, or what they're doing, or which one's going to move the needle, or how to hold the thread, and more just about, those were a little bit wide, but I'm not going to fix them. More about just doing the stitches. I can tell you that this is already easier than that was, and not just because I'm going in the right direction now. I am not going to make it to the end, so I'm not going to fight this. Oh, please don't pull out. I want to tie a knot. Thank you. I did get myself, I was torn between, do I do all the stitches before I try to start a project? I see so many beautiful projects in the different Facebook groups that I belong to, and I am loving doing this stitch book, but I don't know that I want to wait until I'm finished with the stitch book. There's my clock. Before I jump in and do a project. I think that I would like to do a project while I'm doing the stitch book. Something to look forward to that's not just stitches. Something that will produce a finished product. And in a video, or who knows, maybe I just saw it on Amazon, whatever. In my travels, I'm throwing stuff on the floor. I saw this book, and so I just ordered the thread for this, and I'm going to make it on this piece of blue fabric. I'm going to jump in and do a project, because as I was flipping through, I have not read this yet, totally off subject from what I'm doing. It says, this book is suitable for all skill levels, absolute beginners and seasoned stitchers alike, so be welcome, my stitching friends. You are more capable than you think you are. Sometimes we just need someone to explain it to us first. That one line struck me. So I'm going to jump in with both feet, and I'm going to do that dandelion because I really want to do the bee that is in that book, but I'm going to do the dandelion first. So I've ordered the floss a few minutes ago. I don't know when it'll be here. But I'm going to absolutely jump in and do a project and not wait until I am quote-unquote ready. Because, I don't know, maybe I'll never be ready. Maybe I'll never feel like I am going to be able to do this. I don't know. But I will tell you one thing. There's like 175 stitches in Christine's videos, and I definitely don't want to wait that long. As much as I am enjoying this, that's a long time. And as well as the 175 plus videos in her playlist, I think she has, I have found some stitches on my own that are not in her playlist. So I will be doing more stitches than her playlist, and I just don't want to wait until I'm done. Here's my problem. Every time when I'm coming up this curve, I start curving, and it's not as straight as it should be. And so it kind of makes the stabbing my thread. I don't want to do that. Make getting to the point a little bit difficult. So I'm kind of trying to squish this over a little bit more to be a little bit straighter, which makes it look wonky, but what are you gonna do? Straighten up. It's kind of spaced out right there too, but I don't know what to do about that. Okay, I hear a backup beeper outside. It is an absolutely gorgeous night. So I have all of my doors and windows open. I'm going to try and cram one more stitch in there, maybe two, before I do the point of the oop, oop. Come on. Nope. There we go. It's the kind of night where you sleep with your whole house open, except for I got generators on one side because it's kind of a homeless camp over there, and dogs all around, and they're always burning stuff, and so it all smells jinky outside all the time. So I don't get to sleep with my windows open anymore, which is a decided bummer. I wish I could. Okay, I'm very happy with that. I'm going to tie this off, and then I'm going to ask the $1,000,000 question. Do I wash the water-soluble sticky stuff off first, or do I cut out? I need to scoot that up because I don't want to cut it off when I cut out my scallop. Cut out my scallop first. Oh. Let's see. I'm going to cut it out first. I'm going to get my fabric scissors though and not use these or just random scissors. Oh, here we go. I'm supposed to cut really close to that, but don't cut your stitches. If I start crying, you'll know I cut my stitches. It'll be so obvious that I cut my stitches if I just start crying. Get that out of my way. Huh. I probably could have gone a little bit closer, but I'm not going to. How do I? I'm going to skip that part for a second and come back to it. Where I'm worried about my knot. It looks like it's tucked up, so it'll be okay. Okay, now I'm gonna see if I can't cut that off just a wee bit better. Ta-da! Look at that. Too cute. And the back looks like that. I did not cut my knot. Yay! Okay, I'm going to wash it, and then I'm going to let it dry. And then I'm going to stitch it on here. I might stitch it on here like this, with this, stitch it across here, and then just fold it over. So, there it is. I'm very excited. I'm going to go wash it. Okay, finally finished. I washed off the water-soluble sticky stuff, and I gave it a little iron to dry it a little bit, and then I sewed it on where it goes with, of course, a blanket stitch, because this whole thing is blanket stitches, and so it's just going to be a little flap like that. A little flap of blanket stitches of the scallops over the word scallop. I'm okay with that. I like it. I think it's cute. I'm super happy with how it turned out. I'm even okay with how many tries it took. The brown is a little bit more janky than the other two, but that's okay. Practice practice, practice at some point, I guess. That'll go up like that. So there is my blanket stitch scallops.